Hi, my name's Lori. I'm going to show you how to Kitchener a toe. First we're going to take the sock off the circular sock machine. I've already completed the toe pocket and I'm going to crank around to the center line. I'm going to just tap it right in and you can see that the latch is closed. It's right here. So first thing I'm going to do is cut the yarn. Bring it in. It's kind of the scary part. So we're going to just bundle this whole mess up and stick it in the hole. And then I'm going to take some crochet cotton. You could use acrylic, you can use cotton, whatever you have on hand. I find the crochet cotton is smoother and it is a bit stronger, so I find it easier to work with, but whatever works for you. So we're going to feed that through the carrier and around, and so you should be able to see we have two threads right through that centerpiece, and I'm going to hold it down with my finger just so it doesn't fly away, and also notice there's quite a bit of white yarn in there. And we're going to just crank a little bit. Once we get two of them in there, I can stop holding. And I'm going to bring that around. Now, first thing, one of the things you're going to notice is when you do this, it starts separating right here and kind of gets this big nasty hole in there. Ignore it. We're going to fix that. It's completely not an issue. That's also why you put a lot of the white. It will not pull enough for this white to come out. Fish out the yarn that you tucked in. And when you put on the waste yarn, you had a loose bit that was pointed out. This is where you tighten it up. You snug this down a little bit. You go into the first stitch. Now the first stitch that we have to go into, you follow this tail end and go into the stitch that it is coming out of. See, like that. Now we're going to start up. We've gone through the first stitch. Now you're going to go in and back out. And all the time you're following the waste yarn. First the front side, then the back. And you can just follow your yarn. This is where it came out of. This is the stitch it came out of. So we're going to go in that stitch, following the yarn, the white yarn, and come out the next stitch. And pull the needle through. And that's one stitch. You're going to go back to the front. Go in the stitch you came out of, and back out. In the stitch you came out of, and back out. Now when you're pulling the yarn, notice how I'm not pulling it tight. I'm pulling it just so that you get the look of the stitch. When we get further you'll see it. I'm trying to maintain the tension of the rest of the stitches. This makes the seam almost invisible and makes a really nice seam. So in, come back out. this is what we've done so far. You can see the stitches right here, right along the center line is what we've stitched, and you can see it pretty close to matches what the regular yarn is doing. Okay, now I've stopped. To start back up, you look at where the yarn's coming out. The yarn's coming out of the back side, so now I go to the front. Alright, this is where yep, that's where it came from. In and come out. Now, I've been doing the toe, and the waist yarn's been sticking out, and it's been fine until I've gotten around this point. Right about now, I tuck it inside, and this is where it gets a little tricky for the first couple stitches. Okay, coming out the back, so you have to remember all the rules. Alright, yarn came out of that stitch, goes in, and out the next one. Alright, now to the back, yarn came out of that stitch, and it come out the next one. Just because you don't have to fish for them, they're laying right there. It's easy to find. You can just snug them up just a little bit. Okay, now we're right near the end. There are 4 stitches, including the 2 on the needle. You go through this 2. Through these 2. Now there's 1 free stitch. This guy, that last lone survivor. Alright. And we're just going to tuck this in so we can turn it around. What you're going to do is you're going to bring it from the back and into what would have been your next stitch if you had more stitches going across. So you're going to just tuck that in there. Alright, that's what it looks like. And we're going to flip it inside out, pull out that little bit that was showing through. Here's our tail that we were working with. And see that we're all done. Now's a moment of truth, and we pull out the yarn. Now if you did your job right, nothing will run, because all the stitches will be held. And most of the time it doesn't come out that easy, but I got lucky. Alright, this is what it looks like from the inside of the sock. You can see it's a nice seam going right across. And from the outside. And that's how you Kitchener toe.